It is 7 o'clock. We call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum with all board members present except Mandy Barnsell. Welcome, everybody. We will open our meeting with a moment of silence that you can observe as you deem appropriate. Thank you. Now, if you'd stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda, student report. Make a change. Looking forward to this one.
Good evening, Mr. Steenbergen, Dr. Randall, and all board members. I'm Creighton Jaster, principal at Lamar Junior High, and it's my privilege and honor to introduce you to two of Lamar Junior High's leaders who are here for a special presentation. Ellery Davis and Samantha Colts are two of Lamar Junior High cheerleaders who, when the Make a Change campaign was started, stepped up big on our campus and truly embody what it means to be the one.
Hello, I'm Ellery Davis. I'm an 8th grader and cheerleader at Lamar Junior High. The Make a Change campaign was a district-wide initiative that helped all students, staff, and parents of Lamar CISD raise awareness for childhood cancer. For 3 weeks, campuses across the district raised money in order to make a difference in students' lives battling childhood cancer. Students across the district would like to thank Dr. Harrell for being the one for all of us and encouraging us to help those who need us most.
Hi, I'm Samantha Colts. I'm an 8th grader and cheerleader at Lamar Junior High, and I would like to share with you how we at Lamar Junior High were able to take this challenge for raising awareness. When Mr. Jaster first introduced this campaign to our school, Ellery and I knew we could do so much more. Within 20 minutes, she and I, along with their cheer squad, planned and requested a meeting with Mr. Jaster to hold a bake sale to raise more money. Our cheerleaders got all the product donated, including donuts, drinks, candy, and all baked goods supplies. On Thursday after school, parents, cheerleaders, and coaches prepared, baked, and packaged all baked goods. On Friday, after all the lunches, we were sold out. Our cheer squad raised $1,005 for this campaign. In total, Lamar Junior High was able to raise $3,600.
It is our honor tonight to be able to present the Lamar CISD's Make a Change check to Dominic Austin with Tackles for Cancer. Mr. Austin, will you please join us? Lamar Consolidated ISD would like to express how honored and excited we are to be able to help Tackles for Cancer impact so many lives. We would like to present you a check for $30,189.47 on behalf of all students here in LCISD.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. I'm just holding back the emotion right now because we've worked so hard. It's been over 4 years. I started this when I was personally going through this journey, and I had to walk alone. And we've been building our brand. We've been doing the work for so long, and I'm just so grateful for you guys to support what we're doing and empower us to be able to help provide transportation for other patients who need assistance, because this is a real thing. And I'm just so grateful that you guys are willing to acknowledge pediatric cancer awareness, because it is a big deal. Up until this year, they were only directing 4% of all funding towards children, or the folks who need it the most. So from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of all the cancer patients out there that are suffering and struggling and trying to figure out how they're going to make it to that next step just to have a chance at life and survival, thank you. And thank you for having a heart for cancer patients.
They want the board to come out front and take the picture.
And before we get started, I'm going to have Tyson say a couple things because he was very instrumental.
This is action. I mean, this is a call to action. I, unfortunately have had several kids very close to me. I've seen them and their families go through this, and this is something that hits very, very, very close to home. And literally, I mean, if you don't think that this administration and this district hops when they see somewhere where they can help, one phone call to Dr. Randall, out of the blue, no sit-down meeting, one phone call. I had some ideas in my head, but I'd never done anything like this, playing like this. One day later, I get a call from Miss Vogt, and she says, "We got this, don't worry." And the Character Counts and Wellness Initiative, this just so in line, it fell in line with teaching students to just help without, just help without knowing, just to help people. And I'm thankful for Dr. Randall, Ms. Vogt, and I'm thankful and so proud of all the kids in the district and all the departments that have taken part of this. Keep praying for those kids, keep praying for their families, and I'm just thankful that my friend Dominic started such a wonderful organization, because you ask any of these kids and their families, the amount of money that they spend on parking alone it would blow you away. So I'm thankful for everyone's efforts. It's amazing, very amazing. Thank you so much.
And thanks to you two young ladies that did so well.
Yes, great job.
Be the one. Fantastic way to start the meeting. Recognitions award, Dr. Randall, anything this evening?
No, sir. Mr. President.
Any introductions?
No, sir.
Any audience patrons? There are none. Well, in that case, we'll proceed to approving the minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from September 13, 2018 special meeting.
I'll approve it.
Do I have a second to that?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the minutes from September 18, 2018 special meeting workshop.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second to that?
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? There are none. Thank you. Need a motion to approve the September 18th, 2018 special meeting. Have a second to that?
I'll second it.
Any questions, discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. Need a motion to approve the September 20th, 2018 regular board meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Do you have a second to that?
I'll second.
Any questions, discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Thank you. Board reports? I know we've got something to talk about here. Kate, you've always got
Oh,
something to talk
gosh, I
about.
got too much to talk about. Okay. Well, we are very busy on facilities. 2014 bond, Don Carter Elementary School. Contractors working on the final punch list and warranty items, and closeout preparation is underway for next month. Thomas Cole Elementary School, 32% complete. Project is on schedule. The foundation is complete. Roberts Middle School, construction is 25% complete. Concrete planks and topping installation is 100% complete. Metal building frame is on site. Structural steel framing is in progress, and project is on schedule. That's what we like to hear. Fulshear High School shell space, the construction is complete. The new space is occupied. Punch list work is 98% complete, and the closeout preparation is underway for next month. For the new maintenance and operations facility, warranty corrections are being addressed at this time. Now, support service facility. The loading bay steel erection complete, roofing in progress, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing roof in progress in all areas, interior partition framing 90% complete, exterior sheathing installations underway, storm sewer installations progressing, work on the cooler freezer is progressing. Right now it's not on schedule, but it should be ready hopefully in the spring. The band halls are complete, yay, for Lamar and Terry's. The sound door steels have been installed and are complete. Closeout preparation for next month. The natatoriums, the swim teams have begun practicing in the George Ranch, Fulshear, and Foster High School. New building training is complete, punch list corrections in progress, and closeout preparation for next month. And Foster High School water plant upgrades, the punch list items are complete. Both water tanks are complete, currently in use. New pump installation is complete, and closeout for next month. You see, we're closing a lot of things out. The HVAC web-based controls, the controls are complete at all schools. The HVAC floor plan graphics are 95% complete, and final punch list is complete and close out next month. District-wide access controls, phase 1 is complete, and installation of phase 2 is 98% complete. They won't be able to completely finish that project till the support services facility is complete. And the district-wide lighting, the original scope of work is complete. Installation of phase 2 fixtures is 98% complete. There's still some warranty work at Brazos Crossing, Austin Elementary, and George Junior High. And we got to make it so that we're not blinded when we go out to do our cars tonight. That's 2014. Now 2017, we are rolling along. Construction manager agent, they did a request for qualification proposals in September. They've received 6, and they're going to bring those to the recommendation to the board for approval after we have a meeting in a couple of weeks. Austin Elementary and Seguin Early Childhood Center roof replacement. The Austin roof is 100% complete. 50% of the roof has been removed at Seguin. Rain has delayed the project. They are hoping it'll be finished around December 15th. The classroom intruder lock set project. Electrified door hardware installation began Monday, October 15th, scheduled to complete November 16th. Classroom security intruder locks are on schedule to be completed by January 1st. The child nutrition serving lines at Terry, the number 1 is complete. George Junior High line is being manufactured, scheduled to be installed over Thanksgiving break. And high school number 6 and junior high number 6 design meetings have already started October 10th. The facility is on schedule for an August 2021 opening. Wow, that's amazing. So we are right on schedule with both bonds. And just a couple of things myself. McNeil had their Elementary National Honor Society ceremony a couple weeks ago, and several of us were there, and it was, again, a beautiful ceremony, and getting to be with those families as they honor those hardworking 4th and 5th graders. It's always a pleasure to see. And then we are already starting plays and musicals, and I attended the Foster High School play last weekend, The Mariner. And such talent in our district, and I can't wait for this weekend. I know Lamar and George Ranch have musicals, so I'm hoping to find time to squeeze in my schedule to see those two.
Thank you. Any other reports?
Technology Committee, we met on Tuesday afternoon or evening. Just a few of the highlights. Disaster recovery and business continuity. The kickoff was October 4th. Weekly meetings will begin on the 18th of October. On-site meetings with key personnel scheduled for the week of November 12th. Fulshire Data Center. There's actually an agenda item for tonight, purchasing a new UPS and installation services for micro-integration through an improved cooperative purchasing contract. Email security, agenda item for tonight for purchasing a new email security system. Raptor upgrades. The new system includes multiple alert buttons the campus can trigger that will automatically send email, texts, and calls to designated campus employees and safety officers. Terry High School and Ray have been identified as pilot campuses and will receive training in the coming weeks. Interactive whiteboards and flat panels, installation of the new IFPS at Adolphus is scheduled to begin on October 15th. A total of 52 IFPSs will be installed on this campus. 3 new portable smart IFPS units have been ordered for the District Fine Arts program at Terry Foster and George Ranch High School.
All right, thanks, Joe. Any other reports? I would mention that several of us have been able to attend some of the listening tour sessions, and it's interesting to sit back and hear what some of the folks have to say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we really appreciate your participation in that and get the word out. We'd really like to have more of our community sitting in on those. So we have, what, 6 more of those?
6 more.
6 more left. So still more opportunities out there. All right. Dr. Randall, anything from you, sir?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The Houston Chronicle did an article of identifying high schools and how well and good a job they're doing with transitioning kids to college, and especially using a formula that includes the number of students that actually attend Ivy League schools from the high school. And Foster High School was the highest ranked school in the area and number 7 in the state. So that's a testament of the good job that they're doing with their kids.
Fantastic. Thank you. Anything else, Dr. Randall?
That's it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I was just soaking it in.
Enjoy the moment. All right, at this point in time, we will establish our consent agenda. So follow on your books. Item A1, A2, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14, C1, C2, D1. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda item.
Second to that.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. Thank you for approving the consent agenda. At this time, Catherine, would you read the resolution proclaiming Parent Involvement Week?
Whereas parent and family involvement in the lives of children is critical to their success, and whereas extensive research has shown parental involvement in education increases the likelihood of student success and is critical to students achieving high levels of academic achievement and performance. And whereas the objectives of Parent Involvement Week are to promote a greater knowledge of the efforts being made in the district to encourage parental involvement in education, to provide a greater awareness of the parent-family involvement activities and resources that are available to parents and families of school-aged children, and to promote a greater understanding of the responsibilities shared by parents, schools, and the community to ensure high student achievement. And whereas Parent Involvement Week will bring greater awareness of the importance of parent and family involvement in the schools. Therefore, the Board of Trustees of the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District declares the week of November the 12th through the 16th, 2018, to be Parent Involvement Week in the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District. Adopted this 18th day of October, 2018, by the Board of Trustees.
Thank you. In the information items, we have one presentation this evening on pre-K.
Okay, there we go. Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Randall, we're going to give a presentation, a brief presentation, just on the history and the current status of Seguin and the pre-K programs at large in LCISD. The first question that I believe was raised at last month's meeting was, how did Seguin even become a pre-K center? We did a little forensics, and with the help of Ms. Bassick, we came up with the agenda board item from March 22nd of 2012. And essentially what it states is that there was barely 200 students attending at Seguin, which was not a good use of district facilities. In order to help remediate or keep numbers of enrollment down at other campuses and make better use of Seguin, it was turned into an early childhood center for 4-year-olds to attend from primarily the schools that were in the red and blue track at that point in time. It was also to be done in conjunction with the Head Start program. This relationship did not prove to be as fruitful as anticipated, but the district continued with Seguin as a pre-K center for students in the red and blue tracks. Do all LCISD campuses have access to pre-K? And they do. Any eligible student may attend an early childhood program. And then we have those where there's enrollment that is sparse. They will combine and attend at one campus in order to, again, make best use of facilities. So students from Ray, Travis Smith, Long, Boyd, Jackson, and Pink do attend the Seguin Early Childhood Center. Students at those campuses will attend Arredondo, Beasley, Bentley, Hubenack, Huggins, Hutchison, Lindsay, Meyer. All of those campuses attend half-day programs at their own campuses because they have enough students to support that. Students at these schools do not have enough students to warrant a single teacher for that program, and they are combined. Austin, Adolphus, and Frost attend at Hubenack. Campbell Dickinson attend at Velasquez, and Carter attends at Williams. Transportation is provided for all early childhood programs with the current exception of the Seguin Early Childhood Center. Transportation to and from this program was discontinued shortly into the first year due to logistical issues. A task force headed by Ms. Hack and myself is now focusing on a new solution to provide transportation to that particular campus. Ms. Hack is there, and she can give you some history. She's looked back into what some of those logistical issues were, if you would like to inquire.
I would, if she's available.
Okay.
Do you have the information tonight?
I do.
You would share
I
with
was
us?
able to garner some of the history that occurred when they initially transported them to and from Seguin. They were coming from 7 different campuses, and the kids were bused to their home elementary school, and then all of the pre-K were reloaded onto one bus headed to Seguin. That's a lot of pre-K kids on one bus, and there was probably not the adequate supervision that needed to be because they're much more needy than the average kids that we transport. Logistical issues include possible the timing and loss of instructional time because of the type of the way they were being transported back and forth with the shuttles to their home campus and then home. This was also, I believe, before the Blue Card system was put into place for pre-K and kindergarten, so there was some issues on that, on managing the children, ensuring who they were dropped off. So a lot of the things that we now have in place that take care of our pre-K and kindergartner, which would be easily replicated because we've come a long way since then. So it was logistical issues, and them being as young as they were, and that many of them on one bus.
So is it a goal that we will provide transportation to all of those students? Is that a goal that we have?
Yes,
And
that's a commitment.
when, a time frame by a certain?
We haven't discussed a tentative timeline, but we do know it is an objective we are going to meet, that we do need to be transporting these children. So we'll be working on it and have the information very soon.
Do we have any idea how many kids we could serve that we are not currently serving because of transportation? Do we have any?
We don't have a firm number, but we are aware that transportation was provided, that we do have children from a couple identified elementaries that they would be participating.
I think Mr. has a general idea.
Do you? Okay, I'm sorry.
We looked into it a couple of years ago, and we're probably looking at about another 100 kids that we could capture, especially in the Bowie area. There's behind Bowie. It's very hard for the parents to drive all the way into Seguin. So capturing some at Bowie and Jackson, and then of course in our Smith area, so Smith and Tillery. So they have to be eligible, but if they do meet the requirements, I think we can capture more.
That's good. We need to keep getting
And we
these
will.
kids if we can, yeah, for sure.
I believe that one of the problems was the length of time they were on the bus.
Yes.
That they could not handle that physically, and that, is there a way to alleviate the length of time and still have them at the school so that they're getting their complete school day? Because that's some were leaving early.
Mr. Jones and I discussed that because he and I were sitting there and looking at how it was done initially, and I think the length of time is when you go from your home to your home campus, and then you reload, and then you're on the bus. I think if you had more direct transportation to and from, to and from, and then of course the school is Ms. Vogt and I reviewed and spoke with Mary Ellen, the principal there, that's staffed. It's very well staffed. There's more support there to provide to kids on the bus to and from. So there's some things we can look at.
You have people be able to ride the bus with them.
Yes. Oh, yes. And they know the children, too.
Right.
You're just itching to ask something. No, go ahead, Kathy.
Y'all quit picking on me. I'm just curious why that particular part of town, I mean, we're developing a lot, why that was chosen and not some of the schools that are closer to Seguin. It looks to me like it's just the red and blue who are clear across town going to Richmond. I don't know, maybe that was initially because we had small numbers, but we're getting more development in that area. And I just want to know futuristically, is that something that we're just going to keep busing them from Rosenberg to Richmond?
That, I would say that would be an issue we would need to look at.
It's something to look at?
Just like the rest of the district, populations in different areas ebbs and flows. At this point in time, there are not enough school-age students for Seguin to be a sustainable elementary campus again. So it's the most logical place to get our maximum space utilization out of those facilities. And if the transportation issues are resolved, then we'll be in a really good place to optimize on the use of that facility as well as serve all of the students. Adjusting the early childhood Seguin school hours can be a part of that solution, perhaps. So having them start later and run on their own buses, there's a lot of different options that Ms. Hack and I and David are going to have to sit down and really put pencil to paper and explore.
And I think some of those schools that you were referencing, I think they had enough to be able to handle it on their own campus. And some of these other schools did not have enough numbers to have their own unit on their campus.
I was just wondering, as time's going on, those numbers I think will be increasing if they haven't already on this side of town to have their own campuses. Right. I have another concern as far as qualifications. I know for a fact that there are some students that have been accepted that were presently attending early childhood programs and got into the system. So I'm curious as to what are the qualifications?
Okay, we're coming up.
Yeah, I beat you.
Can I just ask one more question? How many students are we servicing now at Seguin?
315.
I think that's like from nine schools.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you.
So we have 315 students currently enrolled. Out of those, we have 47% of them are English learners. 99.6 are economically disadvantaged. And in the Seguin program, we service students that are bilingual. So the major language there is Spanish. At some of our other pre-K centers, we have students that speak Arabic, et cetera, but at Seguin, it's Spanish and then English. Okay? And the benefits of attending. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about was at Seguin, because it's a full-day program, we're able to provide more time for them. And at the bottom one, the 61% of our low-income students have no age-appropriate books. And at Seguin, every classroom has over 300 books. We have really focused on increasing literacy on that campus. So the eligibility criteria here. To be able to be accepted into a pre-K program, you must meet one or more of these criteria. You must be unable to speak or comprehend English, and must be served by an ESL or bilingual teacher, or economically disadvantaged, or homeless, or be a child of an active duty member of the armed forces, or a child that's a member of the armed forces who was injured or killed during active duty, be in foster care, or the newest one is a child from a person eligible for the Star of Texas Award. All of these components, we verify the eligibility before the students are registered. So there's documentation for each one of these components that is verified as they're coming into the system. Okay? Any questions about that? No.
I've always had a concern about the students that do not have the transportation to go to Richmond, the parents that are sitting at home. And I know on that side of town, my side of town, there are a lot that are not getting this education. And yet, I am very aware that a lot of the children either attended another center, and they are English speaking, and they don't necessarily meet any of this criteria, and they have been accepted. How do you check to make sure that they make these qualifications, and how do we get to those that do not have the transportation? They're not the working parents that have a car. They're still sitting at home, and that's the ones that I'm concerned about.
These are the guidelines stipulated from the TEA. And so those are the guidelines for our program that we abide by TEA. So all of these are the reasons. Now, there are other districts that have for fee in some of their programs, but in Lamar, this is something that we abide by what TEA has put in place. So it's a very strict requirement that is audible by the state of Texas.
Each one of these criteria require a submission of certain documents that are generally state-generated documents. For example, economically disadvantaged students have certain pieces of documentation they have to bring in to prove that they are. Proof that there was a military relationship with the parent must be presented. So they don't just get to come in and say that they're eligible. They must produce evidence. If you suspect that someone has falsified a document, it's important that you report that so that it can be investigated.
Okay. Also, with these students, the TEA is, I don't know how long ago, but we went to a seminar. They are asking the districts to start collaboration and with the community and with other businesses that are in the early child care. And sometimes I feel like I shouldn't speak out, but I'm finally convincing myself after 37 years, I think I know quite a bit. And we've never been approached. As a community, there's over, I think, 15 to 20 educational, the old saying is daycare centers. They're not just daycare centers. They are into the educational part. That we're missing a lot of communication and collaboration with issues of some children do need to be in your program, but the parents don't necessarily want to have to drive them that far, or they want it from literally 6:30 to 6. That with TEA coming up with this program, have they been coming to you and saying, try to collaborate with the community on how to get to these 3- and 4-year-olds that need it?
Well, the stipulation for qualification, even if you're partnering up with a program, is that they meet the same quality, the requirements. So the teachers in those programs would have to be certified, bachelor's degree, ESL certified, bilingual certified. They would have to serve under the same conditions.
Well, it could be almost like a child find, because we do have children like that. And if we could, relate them to the district, these children need the help. We're not qualified.
Right.
That we need to reach more of this younger age group, and the reading possibility too. I'm fortunate because I do have a teacher there, and so we just follow her.
Right.
But I still have a concern that the parents that cannot get those kids to Richmond are still sitting there, and those little ones are not getting the help. I'd like to see more of that, maybe involvement more, and ask the community to come in and help. I think they would surprise you with some of the information that they would have about some of the parents that need that help.
We have a parent engagement facilitator. Her name is Ms. Stacy Perez. And we also have one of our team members, Mary Lou Garcia, that actually went to TEA a couple of days ago at Region 4. And there's actually a new program that is being established as we speak, kind of like a child find for pre-K.
Right.
And she has asked me, for us to reach out to this program that is being sponsored by TEA, and they're going to be doing Facebook call outs and things, partnering up with districts to be able to reach more families. So that's
I think
something,
they included the community too. I mean, as far
yes,
as other,
it would be
other group organizations that work with the children on a day-to-day basis.
So
if
that
I
you
understood
could find
that program.
okay. So that's something that we can look more into. This was yesterday. The information was presented. So I will look into that organization and reach out with Ms. Vogt to see how we can reach out to more families.
I think one of the other things that could be done is, and I know Mr. Steenbergen has been talking to legislators about going to full K, pre-K, and funding it.
Mm-hmm.
If they would do that, that addresses a lot of those issues, and I think that one of the places that we could also use our influence is with our legislators as well.
Absolutely.
Well, and I want to put, we don't have the money, and there's a lot of resources out there I don't think we're reaching that could help you guys a lot. So that's just my 2 cents.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. So here are the teacher qualifications that we were talking about. We, in LCISD, all of our teachers have bachelor's degree or higher. They have an early childhood certification, and then additional ones like ESL or bilingual. And one of the wonderful things about the teachers here in Lamar is that they're required to get 30 hours of PD because of the high quality grant, and they don't go away. They stay in our programs. So most of our teachers have 60 plus hours of PD for their experience. And with Seguin, we've had a lot of partnerships and awards. Right now, we actually have Project Learn that addresses the students that are, I think we have kids from, they're about 2-month-old to 4-year-olds before they get into pre-K, and we partner with them at Seguin. We've also received a grant through the George Foundation for some parent engagement activities this year. University of Houston has reached out to do a study called Project World that's all about oral language development. So if they get their grant, we will be partnering up with them. They were semi-finalists in the HEB Early Childhood Award, and then we've partnered up with Children's Museum and CLI, which is the Children's Learning Institute. And then, of course, we have our curriculum, and we have 10 pre-K guidelines that we address in the instructional part of it. So those are listed there. And then we're just going to show you some of the roadmaps. We create roadmaps that integrate all of the components into themes. And this is some of our classrooms. On that one. We host parent engagement events at Seguin and our other sites where we provide training for the parents and also give hands-on materials for the families. And these are some of the events that we have hosted. And then one of the highlights is during the summer program, we invite all the families to come, and we had over 400 parents come to our summer school program, and we handed out books and math materials for them to decrease the summer slide. And currently we have some partnerships with Project Learn, Escape Family Resource Center, the Children's Museum, and also Wharton County Junior College and Seguin.
Did that rather quickly. Are there any more
That's all right.
questions?
It's still very informative.
I do have another, do y'all have special ed students?
Yes, but and they service all kids that are eligible at Seguin. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one item of personnel here that we don't think we need to go into closed session with that. This is for the Director of Network Services, so I'd entertain a motion to approve this.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the recommendation of David Banks as the Director of Network Services.
Do I have a second for that?
I'll second.
Any discussions, question? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. Thank you for that. Future agenda items. Any future agenda items we need to bring up this evening? I will bring up my public service announcement. We have an election coming up. Each one of you needs to go to the county website, print off the ballot for your precinct, go through that and figure out who the heck all these people are as best you can, and take this to the polls with you and look for folks that are supporting public education. My PSA. Got lots of performances.
Lamar and Terry High volleyball Friday night.
If there's nothing else to bring before this board, we will call this meeting adjourned at 7:42 and go Astros.